Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. Alright, so I wanted to do a channel update kind of question, and then two, announce the book for the September Dungeon Dive book club. So first, let's do the Dungeon Dive book. Well, no, let's do the channel update first. So I'm thinking of breaking out the book reviews to their own channel, like a Dungeon Dive book channel. There doesn't seem to be a lot of crossover between people who comment on one and the other, and I am getting the feeling that the book reviews are annoying some of the people more into the game, so I'm not quite sure what to do. So let me know what you think. The irony of this video is probably going to be that only the book people, or the people who are more interested in the stuff I do with books, will be the only ones to watch or comment here. So it could be a flawed polling, but so right now I'm leaning towards breaking my book stuff out into its own channel and focusing with the original Dungeon Dive channel only on board games. So let me know what you think of that, if that is something that I should do. Now on to the book club selection for September, and that will be The Gods of Pegana, and that is by Lord Dunsany, which I guess is the correct pronunciation. I, for my entire life, have pronounced it and heard it pronounced Lord Dunsany. It's kind of a Moog situation. So I will probably often revert back to Dunsany just out of habit. So I am sorry if I am offending anybody in my mispronunciation of Lord Dunsany's name. But anyways, The Gods of Pegana. So the nice thing about this book is that it is in the public domain in the United States. I will post a link to the Google Books version, so if you want, you can read it for free. You can find the text on websites. It's super easy to find. I just purchased this little slim volume version of it that has colorized versions of some of the original art, and I really wanted to point out this art right here, this picture right here. If you would have told me that this was from a Neil Gaiman Sandman comic, I would have believed you. I mean, that looks so much like a depiction of Sandman. But Lord Dunsany, see, I'm already confusing myself. Lord Dunsany's The Gods of Pegana was written in 1905, and it is, according to here, a collection of the myths and legends of a forgotten culture. The Gods of Pegana lays bare the foundation of all that is or will be, and perhaps even a few things that are not. So this is a collection of about 30 little fables, little tales about the birth and the lives of gods and deities and different beings that have lived far in the past. It is beautifully written, and in just a few pages, well under 100 pages in almost every volume. I think the volume that I'm probably going to be reading is from this Ballantine Adult Fantasy Edition with an introduction by Lynn Carter. I think this edition is about 80 pages or so. In just a few pages, the author covers more world-building ground than any other author I've read would cover in hundreds, if not thousands of pages. The Gods of Pegana is a masterclass in world and myth building. It is beautifully and poetically written. If you've never read him before, you're really going to be in for a treat with this book, because not only is it Not only did it inform a lot of the authors who are interested in world building to come, but it still reads like something just wholly unique. He was inspired in writing style by the King James Bible, and it does read like that. It can be a little difficult to read, but once you get into his flow, his narrative style, it's exhilarating. And there's a lot of times where you just put the book down and kind of think about what you've just read. And yeah, it's really good. And the introduction here by Lynn Carter, the best examples of Lord Dunsany's genius for fantasy are to be found among his first 8 short story collections. These books are The Gods of Pegana, 1905, Time and the Gods, 1906, The Sword of Welleran, 1908, A Dreamer's Tales, 1910, The Book of Wonder, 1912, 51 Tales, 1915, Tales of Wonder, 1916, and Tales of Three Hemispheres, 1919. I've read The Gods of Pegana, Time of the Gods, The Sword of Welleran, The Book of Wonder, and 51 Tales, I believe, or Tales of Wonder. I can't remember which one of those I've read. I think it's 51 Tales. But he says, with these 8 slim books lies much of the finest fantasy ever written. I would agree. But this is the judgment of hindsight. Reviewers of the time treated them with contempt and derision, so much so that Lord Dunsany remarks in his autobiography, "I need to get a copy of that. Patches of Sunlight. Disappointed at the reception of my short stories, I turned to writing novels. We who love Dunsany regret that decision deeply. But while we are sad that he wrote no further collections of tales about little kingdoms at the edge of the world, we can be glad we have at least those 8 volumes." So yeah, so this, let's see, this collection here collects The Gods of Pegana, Tales from Pegana, and some poems and some other tales. So yeah, this is I'm excited to hopefully to introduce some people to his work, and I'm excited to talk to longtime fans. I am not an expert in Dunsany, not even close. I have not read close to everything. I probably haven't even read half of what he's written, so I'm sure there are others out there. Hopefully some people will join in the conversation who know more about me and can let us all know some of the intricacies of his writing, his plotting, his literary devices, and that kind of thing. So all right guys, well, we will read this in September. We will talk about it towards the end of September. It's a really quick read, so you can read the whole thing in a day easily. And then let me know what you think about splitting out the book stuff into its own channel. So take it easy guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.